Oh my God. No offense to anybody else, but this may be one of my favorite episodes of Soundwaves TV I've done in a long time. Irish Greg, thank you so much for being with me.
It's a pleasure. Sorry if I've rocked any boats or said anything I shouldn't have said.
We love rocking boats around here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
No, it's great. I cannot wait for you to come back. But I do want to talk, at the very top of the show, I talked about the fact that I feel like you are proof for me when radio fully dies that I actually can still find a successful life. Thank you for being that for me, that inspiration. You do incredible walking tours in San Francisco. Something I think is just brilliant. Tell me how that came up and share it with everyone, how they can be part of this.
This is, you'll actually get a kick out of this story. I hope everybody gets a kick out of this story. So when I left radio, or radio left me, whichever, the one thing I missed most about radio, other than getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
Right. Yes, we used to have coffee at like 4:30 in the morning in the break room together.
No, but I loved radio. But one of the benefits of working in radio is free concert tickets.
Oh yeah.
And that was just like, before it was like someone's coming to town, I'm like, I know I'm going to be able to go to that show. This sounds really privileged and kind of like a bit jerky.
It doesn't pay much. So you know what? The perks are, that's what helps.
Take the perks, exactly. So one thing I really missed about radio was free concert tickets. And so a friend, I won't name her, but she's a mutual friend of ours, worked for Another Planet, who are the big concert promoter here in San Francisco. In the Bay Area, they do Outside Lands, and they do the Independent, and they do the Fox, and they do, Bill Graham Civic, all of that.
Yeah.
So she was looking for a dog walker. And I said, I will walk your dog in exchange for concert tickets. And she got me VIP everything. So the Greek, Outside Land.
Oh my God.
Everything. And she lives in the inner Sunset part of San Francisco, where there's all these beautiful mosaic tiled stairs. And so I was walking her dog around, and I was like I live in this neighborhood and I don't know very much about this. And I'd heard Airbnb do what's called experiences. And so in addition to doing homes, they do, like, you're visiting San Francisco, you might want to do something it's a little left of center. It's not your typical, Alcatraz, right. Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah. Do something a little quirky, a little bit different. And I had heard about this, and so I put together this walking tour. And on my first day, one of the early employees at Airbnb, not one of the founders, but he was like employee number 4 or something, who started Experiences. He did my tour, and he just wrote this lovely blog about it. And then just people started booking, and it took off.
Wow.
And I'm walking strangers around the neighborhood. My wife laughs about this. She's like, "How did you turn this into a career?"
It actually makes perfect sense for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny.
I think it found you.
The other day, I woke up to all these pings on social media, on Instagram, and Carolyn McCardle, who I used to work with at,
of course, love Carolyn.
At iHeart.
Yeah.
She's now part of a morning show, and they were talking about what would you do if you didn't work in radio, and she had talked about how Irish Greg became a tour guide.
You're an inspiration for all of us.
Well, no, but it's the perfect job for a radio host, because you know stuff, mostly nonsense, but you know stuff, and you can talk.
Yeah.
So I started doing that tour, and I've been doing that tour for 8 years. It's called The Hidden Stairways of San Francisco. But then about a year ago, Airbnb came to me. They relaunched. They put Experiences on the back burner a little bit after COVID, because they just kind of went to their core business, which is homes. Yeah. But they relaunched last year, and they came to me and they said, "Would you do because they had no Haight-Ashbury walking tours, and music's my background,
and you're the perfect person
so
for that.
I put together this Haight-Ashbury tour, and I've been doing that for a year, and it's probably a recency bias. Like, I really love doing that. It's just the other one's great and it pays the bills, the Hidden Stairways of San Francisco, but I'm like, why didn't I not think of this sooner? Because music's my background.
Yeah.
So I do this. It's a tour called Love and Hate. It's a pun that everybody, my sister in ours like, that's so clever. I'm like, oh, if you walk down Hate Street, literally every store is called Love and Hate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally the least original idea that I've ever had.
If it works, it works.
But it's called Love and Hate, San Francisco's Bohemian Past. And it's really, what I say to people at the start of the tour is, it focuses mostly on 2 years in the middle of the 1960s, where the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood was basically the center of pop culture. Epicenter. Yeah. And I do use the word epicenter.
Yeah.
It's where music, fashion, politics,
Janis Joplin,
collided.
as I'm wearing
Exactly.
a Janis Joplin shirt. Yes.
Incredibly influential all over the world.
Yeah.
And as I say to my guests, still unfortunately as relevant today as it was 60 years ago. So, and I tell people, you know, it's a story that's got a beginning, middle, and an end. And I, you know, you can't tell any story about San Francisco without starting with the gold rush, because that was the gold rush was the basically the modern foundation of this city. Yeah. So we start with that, but we get into how the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, evolved, and it eventually leads you into the 60s and all of the things that happened there. So I'd like to say it's a story that's got a beginning, middle, and an end with a few interesting little subplots. It's almost like a true crime plot.
I was just going to say that. It's probably got a lot of drugs.
There's a lot of drugs. So what I tell people, you know, we visit the homes of Janis.
Yeah.
And the Grateful Dead and the Hells Angels, and people always kind of look, the Hells Angels. I'm like, this wasn't all.
They were a big part of the story.
Big part of the story, and this wasn't all peace and love and flowers in your hair. There was kind of a dark side.
There was a dark side, dark underbelly.
Yeah, so I love it because it ends with Altamont, and you guys all know about Altamont, but a lot of young people. It's funny. I find myself. It's also a very. It's a very American-centric tour.
Yeah.
Like the Grateful Dead are obviously an institution in this country, but people overseas know the name, but they never had the impact that they had in the United States. So I have to really over-explain things to people who aren't from here.
You can't take for granted that people
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, Jerry Garcia, the lead singer in the Grateful Dead, and the people who are the Deadheads are like rolling their eyes going, blah, blah, blah. But you gotta,
obviously,
you've got to include everybody.
Yeah.
But I do say it wasn't all peace and love and flowers in your heart. So, and the Hells Angels played a big part of it, and there is a lot of death, and there is a lot of drugs. And it just... it doesn't end particularly well. But like I said, it ends with Altamont, and then so you have to explain all these stories. But Charles Manson's a part of the story. Patty Hearst, that's part of the story, and a lot of young people don't know who the hell Patty Hearst is, and why should they? But what
a wild moment in culture.
Exactly. But I explained to them, and I was going, what's a good comp for Patty Hearst? And I can't think of a contemporary comp. The best comparison I could make for Patty Hearst when I explain it to people is imagine. What's her name? Paris Hilton.
Oh, Paris.
If Paris Hilton as a teenager was kidnapped,
that's great,
and was held ransom, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we delve into all of this. So and I really really enjoyed it, and it's also the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, beautiful architecture. You got all these stunning Victorians. Yeah. And there's
great shopping, great coffee shops, great
of that. So
great tattoo studio down there.
There's everything. There's the tie-dye store, and there's Amoeba Records, and the neighborhood was really. It felt like it wasn't going to rebound after COVID, and it really has. Like a lot of San Francisco. No, it's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
And shout out to Daniel Lurie, who was not. We do ranked choice voting in San Francisco. I have to confess, he was not my first choice.
He's doing great.
But
he's
amazing.
His ass
As
off.
somebody who makes a living out of tourism, I can tell you that he is when the Super Bowl was here, a while back.
Yeah.
I had lots of media people from the East Coast, and they did my tours, and they're like, they expected the negative media hype that we've been hearing for the last 6 years, and they're like, oh my God, this place is paradise. It's like, it's
great. You're like, we know.
Yeah, exactly. It has its we still got ways to go, but so it's great to being a tour guide is. I love it here.
Yeah.
And so you get to, and I say this in my little bio on all of the various platforms that I'm on, I want people to leave with the same enthusiasm for San Francisco as I have.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did whenever I came to San Francisco 25 years ago, whatever it was. I bought a little button and it said San Francisco is my home, and it wasn't clearly. I lived in LA.
Yeah.
But I knew in my heart, I guess, sometime that I would live there.
Yeah.
And then I got a divorce from my first husband, married this one, and I'm here, and it's a whole
long...
I'll write a book one day.
I know. People are always like, would you go back to Ireland? No, this is home.
This is home. Mm-hmm. It's home. I love that. I'm coming to do the Haight-Ashbury.
Okay, so it's called
Love.
It's called Love and Hate again.
So how does everybody find you?
So probably the easiest. So I'm on a million different platforms: Airbnb and Viator and TripAdvisor, blah blah. But the best way is on Instagram, Greg's Walking Tours.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, can we give away some
I'd love
tickets?
to. I would love to have. What do you call it? Soundwave heads.
Soundwave heads.
Everything's a head. You have bone heads.
I know, bone
you
heads,
had fog heads. skinheads, deadheads,
I need
all
to think
of that.
about this. Yeah.
So
that would be so cool.
Yeah,
so we'll do a collab on.
Yeah.
You're on Insta mostly, right?
Yes, exactly.
We'll
yeah.
just focus on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay.
I would love to have people. So I host most days. On weekends, I do Sundays at 1 p.m. and then most mornings at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And not only will you have my sparkling wit and humor, and you see these beautiful houses, and you learn all about the stories of the summer of love and the counterculture. You will most likely go home with a contact eye.
I love it. Yes, that's for sure.
Yes.
Some people who take your tours won't know that you're a Bay Area radio legend, but you will. So no excuses. I'll see you for one of these tours.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks,
we'll
Chasta.
collab. Soundwaves TV on Instagram. We'll collab with Irish Greg so that you can find it and win some tickets. So leave a comment. We'll randomly pick winners. And thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
Here.
Thank you. I'm just delighted to have free beer.
I forgot we were doing a show.
Thank
We're
you.
just catching up.
Yeah, no, exactly. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers for me.
Sláinte.
Yes, Sláinte. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here.